the gym. Old stomping grounds. Hank Patterson, fly fishing guide.
Riley Smith, tight end.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be the kicker?
No, tight end.
Again, thank you. I'm looking for a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale. But you're not the kicker.
No.
Yeah, the kicker's probably taller and in a lot better shape. So, okay. What position do you play?
Tight end.
Squats. Yeah, try it sometime.
I may be retired, but I still have finances to manage. With direct deposit and automatic payments, ICCU makes it easy to spend less time banking and more time baking.
RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. First up, he led the Broncos to 3 conference championships and 10 20-win seasons. It's Coach Leon Rice. Next, he's the founder and CEO of RowPaint.com. He played a little basketball in high school on the driveway with his mom. It's Andy Rowe.
Oh, no. Want to just paint my house?
Now that I can do. When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Happy Wednesday to you. Hopefully you're enjoying stealing all your kids' Halloween candy and enjoying some of that. It is a Wednesday edition of Bronco Nation News Live. My name is BJ Rains. That's John Mallory, KTIK 95.3. The Ticket broadcasting, as always, from the Cutwater Spirits Mobile Studios. More than 30 flavors of premixed premium cocktails. Pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. And Johnny, they've come out with a couple new flavors. Yeah. I want to highly recommend the Peppermint White Russian. Nice wintery kind of drink. And then the Espresso Martini also. They've given me some free samples here and enjoyed both of these while the kids were trick-or-treating last night. Highly recommend the Espresso Martini, the Peppermint White Russian as well. So if you're starting to get into the holidays here, it's getting colder. You want some beverages that work well with the temperatures there. Espresso Martini and the Peppermint White Russian from Cutwater Spirits. So appreciate their support of BNN, and hopefully you'll check out and consider Cutwater next time you're looking for that adult beverage. Remember to drink responsibly. Johnny, It's Wednesday. We're less than a week away now from basketball season. I know you guys are going to do a big season preview for basketball on tomorrow's show. We got the football game on Saturday. A lot going on right now, man. It's a fun time to be covering Boise State athletics.
I'm looking forward to the basketball edition of Idaho Sports Talk tomorrow, right? And that's not something that's been said a lot in this town. I think the anticipation level for this basketball team this season, BJ, all-time high. I can't wait to get that going, that show tomorrow. But, and this is a big baby got back, Sir Mix-a-Lot sized butt, BJ, just how I like it. Boise State, Fresno State this week. If there's anything, the proverbial heavyweight title fight of Mountain West football, this is it. These are the best two programs over the last couple of decades. Air Force, very respectable, but I don't think they've done the things that Fresno's been able to do. And obviously Boise State, we all know its history recently in the last few decades. So you give me Boise State, Fresno in a situation, BJ, yeah, neither team's having a historic season for their standards, but they're right in the mix. They're right there. And this matchup, you'd think, is going to give the winner an outside shot, pretty good shot, BJ, of getting into the Mountain West Championship game. So heck yeah, man, a lot going on. Fired up, dude.
Actually wanted to get into that today at some point, Johnny, the Mountain West title race. You guys had Barry Odom on your show recently from UNLV, and I'm curious if we look at UNLV's schedule, if we think they're a real player here for this or what, because Boise State does not play UNLV, so that's the one team they don't kind of control their own destiny for, I guess, in the league. And so Air Force obviously is undefeated. If Boise State were to beat Air Force in the last game of the season, they would have the tiebreaker over them, but then it would come to whether it's Air Force, whether it's UNLV getting that second spot. So I want to get into that and see if UNLV has a real shot here, or is this going to come down to maybe Boise State Air Force playing 2 weeks in a row? I mean, I think obviously a lot is going to be decided on that on Saturday, Johnny. I think for me, we've talked a lot about, they just got to win 5 games, got to run the table, got to win the last 5, got to win the last, whatever. But I feel like if you get, you got the Wyoming one, that was nice. You get back to 4-4. But if you win at Fresno, I think that all of a sudden it can be real talk. I mean, you win at Fresno, all of a sudden you've got New Mexico at home and at Utah State, 2 very winnable games. The Utah State game won't be easy, but that's a game Boise State should be able to win, in my opinion, if they play like they did against Wyoming. And that would set up the final game against Air Force. So for me, a lot on the line, and I think we're going to know a lot more about Boise State, this week. And if you beat Fresno, then I think the dream of Boise State actually getting to the Mountain West title game becomes a real possibility.
Yeah, I think at that point, if you beat Fresno, Boise State, if you don't end up reaching the Mountain West Championship game, that's a problem. That's a bad problem, right? I think if you beat Fresno, I mean, just dot your I's, cross your T's, get better, beat football teams that you are better than, and you know what? Win a ring. I mean, Andy Avalos and for these players, for everything that's happened this year, for them to be in that position at some point, what a tremendous turnaround that would be. Got to beat Fresno first, though, and it's not going to be easy. BJ, Mikey Keene throws the ball well. Look at their numbers. The Sherrod kid is playing really well as a running back. They got 3 receivers with, I think, at least 36 catches. Boise State has 1. They got this grad transfer, Ohio State kid receiver. He's fitting in really well. Fresno's potent, man, and this is going to be a really difficult game, I think, for Boise State to win. Fresno's favored in this thing, right, BJ? And rightfully so. Yeah.
No, they are. They're favored, and they're expecting to have a big crowd. If we have time, I want to play just a ridiculous comment that I think you guys played from Jeff Tedford on the show today, because Jeff Tedford talking about the fans only making noise when there's pizza giveaways and that they're doing the wave when Fresno State has the ball. He was really challenging the red wave, as they call it, to bring it on Saturday.
Yeah, he was, man. And he didn't want to mention Boise or Albertson Stadium, I think, when he was talking about it. But you could tell he was like, other places they're doing this and that, and the crowd, they're getting all these false start penalties. I mean, no one gets the false start penalty in this league even close to what Albertson Stadium does. So, yeah, he was kind of referencing that. And you know what? Maybe he's right. Really, Fresno? You guys have been good for a long time with a lot of different coaches, several coaches, a few quarterbacks here. I mean, Jeff Tedford, he's almost like, and I don't know how Fresno fans are reacting to this. I don't want to speak for them or assume that, but I mean, Jeff Tedford really has to tell you, hey, guys, we got to do this and that to cheer for a game. And yeah, you got to stand up on third down and all that stuff. If I'm a Fresno fan, I'm thinking really, coach? I don't know. I wonder where that is in Fresno this week. I'm sure it's a big talking point, but those are interesting comments by by Jeff Tedford, BJ. You would think they'd know that at Bulldog Stadium, though.
Yeah, you would think so. Well, what did you make of Andy Avalos kind of blowing off the question about the milk milk can, kind of saying that's not something we'll probably talk about one bit this week? The history, and maybe just a bigger picture, I guess, the history of this rivalry. They're talking about just trying to go 1-0 to win the conference. It sounds like the rivalry with Fresno is not a big deal this week, and educating the younger players or not educating the younger players on what this rivalry is. I mean, you go back to 2001. I mean, the Fresno State game, Johnny, is the one. If you ask a lot of former players, a lot of folks, like, what's the one game that started Boise State's ascension to become the program that it was? A lot of people look at that 2001 Fresno State game on the road down there, and you look at all the championship games they've had, all the battles they've had. I would have thought Andy Avalos would have leaned into the rivalry a little bit more than he did in the press conference.
Maybe he is. He's just not using a little brown jug or a stein or a milk carton to do it. And I think college football, one of the great things about it is the passion and the rivalries, and like, oh, well, they have the little brown jug because back in 1927, the winning team, there was only one water cup provided. So the winning team was the only team that got to drink water, something silly like that. It felt like this one, the milk jug, was kind of fabricated. I think a lot of them now are. I don't even know when when Andy was a player, that thing the milk carton, it didn't exist. I don't know when it started, right? I mean, they didn't have this thing when Andy was playing. So, no, I mean, they have other ways to get motivated, I think, BJ, for Fresno, and they can look back to the first Saturday in December last year, hopefully to find all the motivation they need. If the fans are enjoying the milk carton, BJ, I don't even know what it is. What is the name of the milk carton? Do you know?
Come on, dude. You're disrespecting this prestigious trophy here.
I don't even know what it is.
It's the milk.
Know.
It's the milk can, and it's similar. It's similar in size to like the Stanley Cup. It's that big.
Yeah, that's still you're not selling me yet, but
it's the milk can. You're getting called out here from some of the folks.
I'm kind of with Andy on this one. It probably won't even be brought up. I don't think we brought it up on Idaho Sports Talk. Hopefully one day it does morph into something better than it is now. I'll just say
Johnny, I'm going to reset my Wi-Fi. It says I have a low signal here. So I got a question for you. And if you can fill for 1 minute, that would be awesome. What do you make of this rivalry, this history with Fresno State, the championship games, the regular season games? I mean, when you play Fresno State, you're going to get a quality game, aren't you?
Feels that way. And yeah, like I said earlier, it's like the only heavyweight title fight type of atmosphere I think the Mountain West provides pretty much every year with Boise and Fresno. Pretty much every year, either Boise or Fresno, and sometimes both, are competing for the conference championship, right? And this is, again, go figure, another one of those years. Into November, 4 games left, Boise State, Fresno State, each with the exact same goal here to get to and probably host a Mountain West Conference championship. Fresno's healthier. They're feeling good. Boise State's coming off a terrific win. Both teams are feeling good about themselves right now, too. So this is going to be a fun atmosphere. It always is in the Valley. All the past stories I've heard of like fan behavior being rude / kind of funny, maybe, it always comes from Fresno, PJ. And when you talk to Boise State players, I know one player told me back in the day, he said he turned around and a 5-year-old looked at him and said, "Hey, you suck." And then the kid's dad looked at the kid and asked him for a high five and high-fived him yes, son, nice job. And that's Fresno and their fans. And those guys are all over the country, obviously, that level of fan, but that's how it gets with Boise State Fresno. I bet that kid didn't say that, BJ, to the New Mexico Lobo, right? He probably wasn't even at that game.
Probably not. And just so you know, Johnny, here's what the trophy looks like.
Okay. Cool trophy, but there's my man JC there. I don't know, BJ. You're not selling me on the milk carton.
What are you, Jeff Tedford here? I mean, come on. It's not the milk carton. It's the milk can. Come on.
I know, I'm getting crushed right now.
Yeah, you are. A lot of Vandal jokes on here, but let's see. The Dairymen of Idaho, the Dairymen, it was started with the dairy farmers of both Idaho and California there. So I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi. Once again, it's saying, or my Ethernet here, it's saying I don't have a good connection. So I apologize for that if it's jippy or not going great. I paid the bill here. Not sure what's going on. Let's take a quick timeout, Johnny. 90-second break, and let's get into the actual matchups of this game. And I may even throw a basketball question at you as well, because the next time I talk to you, the Boise State men's basketball team will have already played a game in the regular season. So a quick timeout, 90 seconds. Don't go anywhere. Live from the Cutwater Studios, this is Bronco Nation News. All Bronco Nation News broadcasts come from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. For all your commercial, industrial, residential painting needs, check out rowpaint.com. Don't forget about their concrete coatings. Transform that ugly concrete slab on your back patio in your garage in just one day. Contact rowpaint.com for a free estimate today. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union's been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. There's an ICCU branch on almost every corner, but the closest is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. See why more than 500,000 members love ICCU, and join 1 in 4 Idahoans by making the switch today at ICCU.com. Since 1984, Ridley's Family Markets has prided itself on being a hometown food and drug store that employed value members of the local community. Ridley's Family Markets has 13 locations in the state of Idaho and many more in the surrounding states. Download the new Ridley's app to your smartphone, get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line, and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Former Bronco Matt Bauscher is once again the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Let them fulfill all your real estate needs at BauscherRealEstate.com. All right, Johnny, we're going to go with it here. I'm getting everyone's saying it's fine so far. Hopefully it is, but on the little program we use to stream the broadcast, I'm getting the notification that the connection is unstable. So we'll see what happens. Apologize for that. But this defense, Johnny, I know you guys either already talked about it or we'll talk about it on your show, and having to prove it. It was nice what you did against Wyoming, but can you back that up and prove it again? And some players and coaches have talked about that. We're going to talk to some more coaches today. I wrote a story that basically says that as well, that is now posted for subscribers at BroncoNationNews.com, kind of looking at the recent success, why that is, and how they keep it rolling. You can read that now at BroncoNationNews.com. But what do you make of the game against Wyoming? It was obviously a step down. I mean, the offensive numbers coming into the game were not great for Wyoming to begin with. Frankly, I kind of saw that coming. I mean, Wyoming's offense was just not great. It was a get-right game for Boise State's defense. They played great. The competition has certainly come down when you talk about, UCF, Memphis, Washington in terms of the offenses versus San Jose, Colorado State, Wyoming. I get it. But overall, where are you on this defense? Not saying they're going to only give up, 112 yards to Fresno, but is what you saw against Wyoming sustainable, and can they carry it over to Fresno State?
Football's weird because I'm still shocked. My ultimate takeaway from the Wyoming game was how poor Wyoming played. Like, they completely no-showed that game. I'm still stunned by that. Now, how much do I have to give Boise State credit for Wyoming no-showing? A lot? A little? Like just a normal amount? I don't know. It's almost like it's one of those things in bowling, BJ. You probably don't do this very often, but if you bowl a strike, your next 2 throws, it adds points onto. Like if you bowl a strike, BJ, I don't know if you ever have. If you do the very next one,
when you use the bumpers, it's not that hard, man.
You're going to add to that. And that's kind of what this game reminds me of. If Boise State defensively looks strong, maybe even medium or just better than it has this season, I'll say, okay, yeah, Wyoming was a get-right game. They got right. Here they are. This is a better defense. This is a different defense. In a lot of ways, BJ, this is a different defense. Jay Tust's stats about the youth movement defensively, DJ Schramm was the only defender that took a snap last week that doesn't have any eligibility remaining. Wow. Everybody's coming back. So maybe it did click. Fresno will be a good opponent for that test, though, BJ. This is a typical Tedford offense. It completes a high percentage of its passes, regardless of the quarterback. I think they're at like 67% of the year. I think Mikey Keene is completing, let me double check. He's completing 68% of his passes. They have multiple receivers that get the ball, get in the end zone, BJ. They have 3 receivers that have caught at least 5 touchdowns. I mean, Boise State just doesn't bring that type of stuff to the table with their receiver room. They don't run the ball. They don't run the ball that well. 3.5 yards per carry, I think, is a team this year, which is kind of typical. I mean, it's a passing offense. They run well enough. They average 400 yards per game offensively, which is kind of a Tedford staple we're seeing. So Boise State's defense, BJ, it has its work cut out for it, no question.
Sky Ship says RJ Keene better than Mikey Keene.
They're related.
Cousins, right?
Yep.
Are they? Yeah, that's what somebody had said on here. That's pretty cool, obviously. Let's see. Okay, so defensively, we'll see if they can keep it up. Offensively, not sure if we're going to have Ashton Genty in the backfield. George Halani, nice luxury to have, but 6 straight games with the 30 points offensively. Who knows what's happening with the quarterback situation. I liked how bluntly Mike Prater just asked, why is Taylon Green still starting? Because essentially you're starting one guy and then playing the other guy almost the majority of the snaps, or the majority of the snaps, 3 games in a row. Why not just start the other guy if you seem to like him more, which you obviously do? Sounds like a lot of the playing time for Taylon Green in that game, Johnny, was lost because of the fumble that he had. Yeah. I mean, they kept him in there for the first, I think, 4 drives or 3 drives, and he looked pretty good. Had that throw to McAllister. I thought they were going to roll with TG10 there for a while, and I think they were. And then he kind of ruined it with his fumble. They gave the chance to Madsen. Madsen obviously took advantage of it as well. Do you think they continue this kind of same plan, or do they go ahead and make the switch to Mad Dog? Where are you on the quarterbacks?
They'll probably start Taylon Green, and Madsen will probably take at least twice as many, throw twice as many attempts as TG10. But I have a feeling there's going to be a game where something pops for TG10 in a good way, like in a 70-yard touchdown run, 50-yard touchdown run. That was the best throw I've seen a Boise State quarterback make this season, I think, was TG10 to McAllister for the teamer last week.
What a throw.
Brilliant. After I saw that throw, I thought, you know what, is Bush just going to keep TG10 in?
Which he was, yeah.
Yeah, sure. I thought that after that throw. But I have a feeling there's a moment coming for Taylon Green, and everyone's going to step back and say, whoa, okay, that's why we were all so high on him. That's why, BJ and myself were surprised he wasn't the Mountain West preseason player of the year. It was Cordero, who's having a way better year than Taylon Green, obviously. It was a number of those things. So I have a feeling it's still going to happen, but Mad Dog's so darn efficient, and he's good, and he's been the best quarterback on this team this year, period. He's been better than TG10. So I don't expect a whole lot to change there. I expect to see them both, but Genty, BJ, that's the real conversation this week, in my opinion. He needs to play, and right now it's up in the air. Nobody knows if he's playing or if he's not.
But George Halani, it was nice to see George Halani come and do what he did, and to have a 2-time 1,000-yard running back waiting in the wings if you need to rely on him at Fresno is not the worst problem in the world.
Yeah, but Ashton Genty has like 5 runs a game that I have to press pause and rewind.
Oh, I agree. He's not. I agree. I agree.
I've never rewound a George Halani run, which it's fine. But yeah, there is a different level. We talked about this, BJ. I thought you surrendered over the ball game on this. There is no comparison to the skill level of Ashton Genty and George Halani. And that speaks more to Genty than it does George, because we all know how terrific George is. That's just how elite Genty is, in my opinion.
No doubt, but I'm just saying it. The drop off there, and then to have if you have to rely on George Halani and Breezy Dubar, that's for 1 or 2 games here. I mean, it's not like they're taking a huge such a huge drop off that they can't win the game.
No question, and I like what Breezy's doing, and I think there's a pretty good chance he's your week 1 starting running back next year. That's in play. Obviously, I like what I'm seeing from Breezy.
I agree. All right, I want to talk basketball with you. We got to take one more quick time out, and we'll talk some Boise State hoops. 6 days away from their season opener. We'll talk that here in 90 seconds on Bronco Nation News. Bronco Nation News is sponsored by Tommy Alquist and Ball Ventures Alquist, Idaho's premier commercial real estate development company. BVA projects specialize in office, retail, flex, medical, and industrial spaces located at some of the most strategic and visible locations in the valley. Need a developer? Looking for new space? Think BVA. At BVA, we are Idaho's developer. The Nicolason family and SON management have proudly been operating Taco Bell restaurants in and around the Treasure Valley since 1969. One of the first to make a 7-figure donation to the Lyle Smith Society, they've also stepped up their support of Boise State athletics with the Taco Bell men's and women's basketball endowed scholarships. The Nicolason family and SON management have committed at least $310,000 by 2026. Get more information on their financial support of Boise State athletics and find information on applying to work at Taco Bell at tacobellworks.com. Lithia Ford of Boise is a proud supporter of Boise State athletics and the official car and truck of the Broncos. Lithia Ford of Boise supports Bronco student athletes through NIL deals, including providing Ford vehicles to Taylon Green and Riley Smith from the football team and Paige Barsh from the volleyball team. Rain's family purchased our F-150 from Lithia Ford. Couldn't be happier with the purchase. Check out the all-electric F-150 Lightning or the electric Mustang Mach-E at Lithia Ford, and make sure to check out their full inventory of vehicles at lithiafordboise.com. The Blue and Orange Store is the perfect spot to get all your gear for your next Bronco game. The Blue and Orange Store has official Nike apparel, including jerseys, shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, and more. Wear what the Broncos wear and get it at the Blue and Orange Store, the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall, or get free shipping on a $40 order online at theblueandorangestore.com. Well, adios to JB, who has told us that now that we're talking basketball, he's heading out. He says, okay, good day, go Broncos. So JB, apologize to you. We haven't
put that on there, Rains. You know,
we haven't
let JB go do his thing. You don't need to give him credit for this. That you're just encouraging, I don't know, whatever.
We haven't converted everybody, I guess, to Boise State basketball yet.
What you got?
How excited are
the Vanguard? What? The Vanguard what?
Do you know where they're located?
Yeah, it's one of the top Christian universities in Orange County, of course. What's their nickname?
The Knights.
No, it's the Lions, man. You see,
no, the Knights.
It is?
Yes. Oh, I'm looking at Vanguard High School. My bad.
I thought that's who they were playing. Never mind. It might as well be, BJ. Should you know, though? Does it matter for you in college basketball the week? The opener. Do you need to know who they are or where they're from? It's not about the game. I think
if you're gonna play a Vanguard type team, it's perfect to do it the way Boise State does. Do it the first game of the season. Everybody's excited, wants to see the team play anyway. It's essentially an exhibition, but it does count. So Boise State played the 2 secret scrimmages against Cal, against Weber State, and now they get a tune-up in front of the fans. But it is a real game before their first kind of real test against San Francisco next Sunday. So I'm fine with the way they're doing it. I think there's like 7 Mountain West teams this year, Johnny, that are playing 2 non-Division I teams. Yeah. San Diego State won, or got to the championship game last year. They're playing 2 non-Division I teams this year because it is just so hard for these Mountain West schools to get home games and to get teams to want to play them. And teams like your Idaho Vandals, no disrespect, but when you're trying to put together trick the computers or put together a computer schedule that's going to help you in the rankings, it actually helps you more to play a game like Vanguard that doesn't even count than to play some team in the 300s of the net ranking. And so these teams are trying to find the right formula. And essentially for the net ranking, essentially for the NCAA tournament committee, the game against Vanguard does not count. I mean, it'll count on Boise State's overall record, but when that team sheet comes up at the end of the season, it's not going to say 20-10. It's going to say 19-10 or whatever Boise State's record is. They don't count the Vanguard game, since it's not a Division I game. You are allowed to play 2 of them though, and have them count at least on your record, I guess, or for the stats. And Boise State's doing that against Vanguard. But I asked the same question to Jay Tust, Johnny. All the hype that they're getting, second in the Mountain West. A lot of these national people are writing about them. Andy Katz put them as a sleeper team to make the Final Four. You've got Max Rice, in his 6th year. All the talk, all the hype. Are we overhyping this team, or do you believe this team can finally be that team that is good enough to finally get that win in March?
We're probably overhyping this team. I mean, that's what a lot of people do in sports, right? Some people do, some people don't, and the people that do probably go way overboard. I think this team's in a good position if it stays healthy and it grows the way this coaching staff thinks it will, that they're going to put themselves in a pretty darn good position to play in the NCAA tournament and hopefully get the type of draw that will allow this program to do the only thing it really hasn't, obviously, of merit, win a game in the NCAA tournament. That, to me, I mean, that's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for this town, the fan base, media members type of thing, for coverage, getting to do stuff we've never done. Obviously, in that locker room, though, they want to do much more than just win a tournament game. So is the hype fair? Probably. I think it's fair in this town coming off the previous 2 trips to the tournament. I think it's fair to say, okay, this is the year. Everybody's back. We love the additions. Holy smokes. Looks like they're going to be deep. This team can win an NCAA tournament game. They weren't that far off last year against Northwestern. So it's going to be, hopefully the fans buy in early and kind of ride the wave in this town. We'll see. I think they probably will. I would expect attendance numbers to be pretty darn good this year also, BJ. So yeah, basketball season. People are excited and they should be.
Skyship saying RJ Keene will score more points against Vanguard than Mikey Keene scores against Spencer Danielson's defense Saturday.
Well, does Mikey Keene get like fantasy credit? Does he get points for touchdown passes? Because otherwise Mikey Keene would have to rush touchdowns. And so, yeah, I would probably take RJ Keene to be able to put up a 7 spot against Vanguard, because I don't think Mikey Keene's going to have more than 1 rushing touchdown. So I would disagree with that comment.
Well, the countdown is on. We should let folks know, Johnny, that I believe we're going to try tomorrow night, correct, for Ball Talk. We had some scheduling conflicts with Mike Sanford, or should I say Richard Simmons. I don't know if you saw his Halloween costume. Oh, yeah, you were in the group chat. But Richard Simmons, unavailable on Monday night due to a scheduling conflict. So we're going to try tomorrow night at 8 p.m.
If not, we'll come back on Monday, BJ.
Yeah.
We'll hammer it on Monday. I mean,
yep. Well, at least I think we need to at least try to get a short one in tomorrow, if nothing else, previewing the Fresno State game and talking to Mike about that. But we'll try for tomorrow. We'll let you know for sure. But sorry we missed last week's episode. Johnny, I know you got a big episode today on Idaho Sports Talk.
Yeah, we do. Michael Forrest Prater, you kind of broke this story on Monday, so I guess I can talk about it. Prater is doing his 24-hour Las Vegas experience without staying in a hotel. He's going to the Sphere for the U2 concert tonight. Yep.
I hooked him up at Stadium Swim today. He's going to go hang out there.
Yeah, that's awesome, BJ. Mr. Circa, love you, BJ. Yeah, he's going to do that. And Bob's filling in. I like hosting shows with Bob. Get some World Series talk in there probably. And Fresno 101 today. We're going to examine the Fresno State Bulldogs. And it's always good to hear Bob's opinion. That guy, I live in Cubicleville with Beeler. You've been there, BJ, where all of our cubicles are. JP has the big office in the corner, so he's too cool for us. But we sit there and talk, and I see Bob crunching numbers all day. He's going to be ready to go today. And for all your Boise State fans on Idaho Sports Talk today, we will have 4 o'clock, BJ, Jason Eck.
There you go. How about that? I know you're looking forward to that. Speaking of coaches, by the way, DeMario Warren, Matt Miller, Tim Keene, Eric Chenander, all talking after practice today. I'm sure you guys will have some sound bites from some of those interviews on Idaho Sports Talk as well. So listen in 3 to 6 today, 95.3 FM, 1350 AM, the KTIK app, KTIK.com. We even have a listen live link to KTIK at BroncoNationNews.com. So a lot of ways to get involved and listen to their show today. And then Jay Tuss switching up for tomorrow with travel schedules, and with Prater being gone, tomorrow we'll have Jay Tuss for a special Thursday edition, and then hopefully Ball Talk tomorrow night. So getting you set for basketball season 6 days away, getting you set for football season, football game on Saturday against Fresno State. A lot going on in Boise State Athletics, and they got you covered at KTIK, and we got you covered at Bronco Nation News. So have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.